We are so excited. This is our second year anniversary episode, and it's a special one for you guys. A kind reminder that every year we look at the most downloaded episodes, and whoever is the winner of that particular year, on the anniversary, we will donate 1,000 euros to any charity of their choice. I'm really excited that we're going to announce the new winner soon, but do remember in all of the forthcoming episodes to please subscribe, like, comment, and share them, because the more your favorite episodes get listened to and downloaded, the bigger our reach, the bigger our guests, the bigger this show, and of course, there will be a winner of this 1,000 euros to a charity. So it's all for a good cause. Thank you so much for supporting Hotel Talk. We really appreciate every single listen and wish you all the best from the bottom of our hearts. Over and out from me. Enjoy this episode. Welcome back, everyone. It's Hotel Talk here, and today I have with us a beautiful guest of St. Raphael Resort and Marina. I'm very happy to welcome Richi Shah, who is an influencer and content creator. She is all the way from India, and it's your first time in Cyprus, isn't it?
It is.
But not your last.
No,
And
I'm definitely coming back.
Yay! I'm so happy. Thank you for choosing St. Raphael, first of all.
Thank you for having me
where
here.
you'll stay. And also, I'm so happy you found time, because you're leaving in a few hours, so we could do this amazing podcast episode. So tell us a bit about you.
First of all, thank you so much for having me here, Farah. I'm so glad that we could be here in Cyprus because, we've been traveling for a month and we saved Cyprus, which I feel is the best for the last. We've had a wonderful time, and I'm really sad now to go back home because this all got over so quickly. But I'm so glad we could be here. So thank you.
I've been following your posts. You've been to some amazing places. You've been all over Europe, and tell us, where have you been and what did you love the most?
Absolutely. So just a bit about me. I'm from India, and I love traveling. And every time I'm home, I like being home, after traveling for a while. But then when I'm home, I'm like, oh no, I want to go back. I want to be out there. I'm not meant to be at one place for very long. So that's why I love traveling. I travel with my partner. He's Mihir, and we travel together. We explore together. We love coming back to Europe, though. This is, I think, the third or the fourth year that we've spent our summer in Europe.
Coming to Europe.
Yeah, and every time we're in Europe, we just feel at home. We feel at comfort, and that's amazing. So, on this trip, we started with Turkey, and then Croatia, and now in Cyprus. And we head back before we leave again for South Africa in 2 days.
Wow.
So we're just going back home to unpack and maybe pack some fresh clothes, and we're off again.
Amazing. So how did you become an influencer? Because you've just told me, I think quite surprisingly, that you are a chartered accountant. So you're very far cry from content creation and marketing.
Absolutely. Yeah. I actually call myself an influencer by chance because it really happened that way. It wasn't planned. I'm a chartered accountant, and I used to work in a Big Four for a very long time. And it's a desk jobs which didn't really excite me for a very long time. I had fun though at work, but I wanted to do something else. And at that time, Instagram was all new, and I started posting pictures and random videos and stuff like that, and there was so much love from the audience out there. And I got many followers at that point, like it was 100K and then 200K while I was still working as a chartered accountant. So I thought, maybe we'll try something out in marketing, maybe create more content, and, maybe we'll get our hands on to, more brand deals and stuff like that. So maybe we could explore doing that. But I could only do it if I get some time off my job, because the job was really demanding, being an accountant.
Definitely. Not an easy job, that's for sure.
Yeah, I used to work for like 12 to 14 hours. I mean, you don't have life left after that, So
It's not like, oh, well, let's just go and do something in the evening with my spare time. Yeah.
yeah, I used to get back home like at 12 a.m. at times. So, I mean, life is difficult. So, we thought, okay, fine, let's try something new. Let's give it a go. I'll quit my job. My partner quit his job as well because we wanted to do something together. We were really looking forward to that. So, we quit our jobs at the same time and we started exploring. And, when you have that energy and you thrive for something, the universe brings it to you.
Yeah.
And that's how it all began. And we had a vision. We worked towards it, and yeah, that's how we started traveling more, getting more opportunities, getting recognized, and yeah,
Huge
where we are today.
congrats. Well, you're at how many?
4 million now.
You're 4 million
Yeah,
on
1.4.
Insta.
1.4 million on
1.4
Instagram.
million, yes, on
Yes.
Insta. And then you're also on TikTok, aren't you?
TikTok is banned in India, so not on TikTok.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but I'm on YouTube, and we recently actually started YouTube. It's pretty at the naive stage yet, but it's 140K on YouTube as well.
Amazing. I mean, that's
We're growing
huge.
there. Yeah, we're growing
Wow,
there.
good for you.
Thank you.
So tell us a bit about you. Where did you grow up? Yeah. What did you want to be when you were younger?
Yeah.
Let's hear a little bit about you. Who is Richi?
So I'm from Mumbai, born and brought up in Mumbai. It's a big city with lots of people.
I haven't been, but I know it's very hectic, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, what's the population of Cyprus? I think it's 1.3 million or something like that. I think so. Yeah,
I was just discussing this yesterday with my kids and telling them, guys, when I was young, we were only like 750,000. And they were like, what? And I'm like, yeah, we were considered a small island because we were under 1 million people.
Right.
And now we're more than 1 million.
Yeah.
So then, yeah.
And Mumbai is a small city in a country like India, and we're crores of people out there, So it's crowded, but we've always had a little space in Mumbai. We live in a small apartment, like with my family, grew up with my grandparents. And while growing up, interestingly, I wanted to be a doctor, but my brother, he had a precedence. He also wanted to be a doctor. So because he's elder to me, he started off with his science education. And when the time came for me to, choose my path, he sat me down and told me, my sister, why do you want to struggle like I'm doing right now? Science is difficult. Being a doctor is going to take you years and years of hard work and life.
7, so like 14 years.
Yeah. I mean, you might be even struggling when you're like 35, 40, and you would still be figuring your path out. So do you really want to do that? And that scared me a little. So I said, okay, fine. Let's focus on, commerce, which is basically finance or accounts and something like that. And I'm glad I did, because eventually that's what I chose. It's
also a very good base to have for life, for whatever you do. I mean, if you know numbers, then no one's tricking you there. You're
Absolutely.
Good.
So I'm glad that I could get my education as a chartered accountant, because today we work with a lot of brands. We run a digital marketing firm as well back in India, and it's very helpful because my partner, he can be the face where he's a very good negotiator. I guess the way he speaks with the brands, and I mean, people love him. He's a people's person. And I'm a bit shy. So, I'm the more creative person. So I like doing the work behind the scenes as well, where I can be more creative. I can take care of the finances, the administration, the accounts.
It's a good balance.
Yeah. So, I mean, I can do that. And he does what he does best. And, that's how we're managing our life back home.
So what brands are you working with, and what's the one that you enjoy? Well, you can't say which is the one you enjoy the most, but yeah, what have been like some of the fun experiences of your journey so far?
Honestly, I mean, back home when we talk about managing the brands we market, that's something which has not got to do a lot with me, because there's a team back there who takes care of the daily jobs and stuff. We work with a lot of pharmaceutical companies, some lifestyle brands, beauty brands, and stuff like that. But personally, I as you know, I love to travel, and those are the kind of brands I love working with, whether it's tourism boards, whether it's travel companies who are able to, it's either, for example, we recently worked with, say, Emirates, and we had an amazing experience where, the creative side of me gets really excited, because I feel that every time we experience something new, I have to, creatively talk about it in front of my audience, come up with
Yeah.
something which is very exciting, quirky, keep the audience hooked, attached, because that's how we've come here. And I want to keep growing, and I want to keep,
Yeah. Keep
people
learning,
excited.
getting
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
that's the most exciting part of the job. At the same time, it's the most challenging, because um, years have passed by doing this. You can't keep the people hooked forever, so you need to keep
Mm.
reinventing. The challenge is there. You can't do the same thing that you did like 5 years ago, because it would be redundant by then, you're right.
Mm.
So you need to keep reinventing, be creative, and I mean, yeah, that's
I
the
love
fun thing.
that. I love that. So, what would your advice be? Because I mean, I'm a bit against there's so many young people now that are just like, oh, I want to be an influencer, I want to be a YouTuber.
True.
And why not if that's what they really want to
Definitely.
do? But, people think it's an easy life. They think it's like, and there's a lot of passive income.
All the
And I
time.
keep laughing. I'm like, this isn't passive. Like, these people are really working. And that's what I tell people, influencers that come to stay with us. I'm like, I want you to have a holiday as well. Like, I don't just want you to be like, because
Right.
I hear nightmare stories of other hotels being like, we want 20 reels a day and we want this content and we want that. And, yeah. So tell us a little bit about what it's really like. Give some advice to, younger people out there who are sold the dream and, yeah.
Absolutely. I really understand where you're coming from. Firstly, you need to have the passion to do this, first of all, because, when as an audience, you scroll through reels, you
Mm,
come to my profile, for example, and you'd see 5 reels from, say, 5 different countries, you'd feel, wow, she travels a lot, she's
mm,
got the life, I want to live her life, and stuff like that. But that doesn't come easily. It's a lot of hard work, and by hard work I just don't mean that, I mean, we're just not creating videos.
mm,
There's so much that goes behind it. There's so much of effort that we put before, in terms of, getting in touch with brands, in terms of, what we can work out with you, planning constantly in terms of, what we can do next. The creative, you always have a creative bottleneck as well, because if I'm not relevant, if I'm not working, if I'm not delivering something which is exciting, brands will stop working with me eventually. So it's
there's a lot of
not just
pressure.
exactly, there's constant pressure. And trust me, like, if I'm out of my house all the time, like
Mm,
for months at end, it takes a physical toll, it takes a
mm,
mental toll, because you are homesick, you don't always find the right kind of food to eat, you're not being able to work out, which can also of course lead to health issues. we
mm,
we constantly, facing these kind of things. And of course, to even maintain that peace of mind with your partner as well, because you have a work, there's a
mm-hmm.
work life balance, right? So you have a life beyond Instagram as well, beyond content creation as well. So the journey is just as good as anyone else's who's not into content creation.
Mm-hmm.
This is a full-time job like anyone else's.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it looks beautiful,
Glamorous, yeah.
glamorous, doesn't mean it's that way. Sometimes you won't believe, we might be having a fight, or an argument with a brand, or just amongst ourselves behind the camera, and the next second we switch, take maybe a beautiful shot, because we need to move out of that
Mm,
location. So sometimes it can be as fake as that, because we
yeah.
have to do it because it's the job, so
Well, I know someone battling with depression who's an influencer, stunning. And I know that, some days she can't even get out of bed, but then the pictures are all like, the champagne and the
exactly.
beaches and the
Yeah.
beautiful clothes. And so, we have to take everything with a pinch of
Yeah.
salt, I think.
So
Yeah.
it's not all rosy, but if you have the passion to do it, go do it,
Yeah.
give it a try. I mean, nothing comes without a cost. So of course you have to invest in yourself, in
Hmm.
your job, in growing yourself, so I mean, if you have the passion to do it, go ahead and try it.
Mm.
I mean, like I told you, I was a I am a chartered
Yes.
accountant.
Keep your day job, try it. And then if it
Exactly. Yeah,
flourishes,
yeah. I
then
mean,
go
we
for it.
grew a bit before,
Hmm.
and that's when we took the leap of faith, and
Yeah.
decided to try something, and it worked for us, because maybe that was destined for us, right?
Well, I don't know if you've heard in Cyprus, we have our European Member of Parliament. was elected as a young guy in his early 20s, and he's a YouTuber.
Wow.
And he had no political parties like supporting or affiliated with, and he beat and it was the power of the internet, the power of influence. Yeah.
That's true.
So
But that's
crazy.
refreshing, right?
Crazy stories. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It's something different. It just shows, the modern world. So tell us a bit, what have you liked in Cyprus, at San Rafael? You were telling me before we started recording about the food. Tell us a bit about your
Wow.
experience here with us.
Absolutely. So, I mean, charge me if I'm guilty, but I mean, ever since we checked into the resort, uh, it was day one and we had an amazing time. It was day two, we had another amazing day. And then we thought, should we really step out? And, I said, no, I don't feel like stepping out of St. Raphael because there's everything here. I mean, it's so beautiful. Every day I open my eyes and I open the curtains and the window and I'm like, it's so beautiful. Why would I really want to go anywhere else? So honestly, first thing, it's amazing. The vibe is beautiful. The greens, the blues, the beach. Oh my God. Hands down, the best beach I've been to. I love the sand. I love the waters. So, I mean, that really made me so happy to be here. But the top thing for me is the vegetarian food. And I have never, ever experienced this anywhere else I've been to in Europe, outside India, anywhere. So, being from India and being a vegetarian, of course, vegetarian food is easily available back home. But every time we come to Europe, we always have a constant struggle of finding a good vegan place on Google or a restaurant which serves decent vegetarian options. But trust me, all we've been eating is pizzas or pastas, or at max, maybe some falafels or stuff like that. But when we were here for the last 5 days, we've had vegetarian food in almost every cuisine possible. So it's just not a restriction of a dish or two, but we've had 10 different varieties on our plate every meal. And that really makes me so, so happy because that's one thing which I'm going to highlight to my audience again and again and again, because for me that hits all the checks. It just checks all the boxes for me.
Oh, I'm just so happy to hear that. As you know, I'm vegan, and it's been one of my missions to not just cater for the vegetarian and vegan communities, but also the regular omnivore communities, show them that there's delicious food to be had that is plant-based, that you can make at home, and it doesn't have to have butter or milk or fish in or meat. You can have alternatives and it can still be so good.
And also just the fact that there's vegetarian food, that's one thing because I have an option now, but it's amazingly tasty. It's delicious. I think your Seashells restaurant, that's fabulous. I think the menu out there, I think we've tried everything on the menu now.
Yeah, so, it's like gourmet by the sea, isn't it?
Yeah. And I feel there were so many people out there. I mean, every day the restaurant's full. So it's I can see that people are really enjoying. And I met the same faces every day, So I'm so glad that there's something like that, which is there at the resort, which people are really enjoying. So that's a great thing. Kudos for that.
Oh, thank you so much. So where do you see yourself in 5 years? What's your dream?
Traveling. I hope that never stops. But to be honest, I mean, someday I wish, I could, of course, home's back in Mumbai, but I'd like to have a second home, maybe somewhere in Europe, because that's a continent which is very close to me. We keep coming back here because we truly love it here. So I hope, in 5 years, we can have a second home somewhere in Europe, a cute little beach house or maybe a beach cafe, which, we could spend more time at, a space of our own, something like that. But yes, traveling,
Traveling,
for me.
you love traveling.
Yeah.
I have another important question for you. So you're a very positive person. Your reels and posts are always full of love and happiness. But like anything on the internet, there's a lot of haters out there. And there's always people who are mean. There's always people who will give negative comments. How do you personally cope with that? Like these unnecessary haters. I
Yeah.
just don't have a better
Yeah.
word for them. And what would your advice be to, I mean, I think of my children who are so young, 11 and a half and 8 and 4. And yeah, they're going to grow up in this world where people do go out of their way to comment and be mean.
That's
How do you
true.
cope with that? And what's your advice?
I think that's been a journey too. Like honestly, when we started off, we used to get a lot of hate from the audience, of course, at general. But even people out there in the society where people used to be judgmental and kind of in kind of things that we're doing because. Let's be honest, something like this, like the industry of content creation, did not exist maybe 10 years ago.
Mm,
There was no profession called as being an influencer or being a content creator back then on social media. So, this profession in itself is a new age profession. Even today, I feel, even for our parents, it's been a journey to make them understand that what we do is serious work.
mm,
It's not just leisure. We're not traveling for fun. This is
mm,
work. This is our bread and butter. We're earning a source of income. That's how we're able to achieve what we have to. So it's it's been a struggle to get that reconciliation with our families, with our friends, with the audience out there. So I mean that's number one. It's been a struggle out there. When it comes to hate comments, that keeps happening. I mean, we've had phases. I mean, years ago, of course, when we started. Coming from an Indian society, which is quite conservative as such, and being a traveler who's experiencing and exploring every single day, I would keep reinventing, modernizing myself,
mm,
right? So, accepting that, basically for the audience to be, accepting the kind of choices that I make, whether it's traveling, whether it's clothing, whether it's videos, appearance, even a kiss to my partner sometimes would
mm.
not be taken very positively on social media. For with the Indian audience, it's as naive as that. So, how do we deal with it? We've learned how to ignore
Just
because
ignore it, yeah.
just ignore.
Water off a duck's back, they say.
All
Yeah.
that matters is your loved ones.
Mm,
If you've reconciled everything with them and you're in the same space, they connect with you, we connect with them,
mm,
we're on the same page, we're happy.
hmm
And that's all that matters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. I love that. So, what's your favorite quote?
Ah, okay, this is interesting. There's no quote as such, though, but I truly believe in this. It's a thought just came to me a few years ago because I love traveling, and I thought, why do I have to keep going back home? Like, why can't I just freely move from one place to the
Mm,
other? Maybe live there for a few months and keep moving further on, right? Why can't I do that? Because we have borders, we have different passports,
mm.
we have visa requirements. I have to keep going back home to get a
Yeah, to
new
get a new
visa.
visa.
Yes. So I feel that it's in nature that animals have to migrate, right? We humans are
Mm,
animals as well. So it's in our nature to migrate, to basically maybe look out for something better,
hmm
to keep moving for more favorable conditions, or maybe a better life, or something that makes you more comfortable. So animals do migrate even today. Why can't humans?
So, it's a philosophy. I love that.
Yeah.
That we also need to migrate.
Yeah, I
I think
mean,
my son mentioned something about that the other day.
yeah, we're
He's
restricted
quite
by
young.
borders, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A world without borders.
yeah.
Be a beautiful place. So the last question is a bonus question. It's our
Ah,
crystal ball. Pick
okay.
any one you like, and our staff put these together. So I don't know what you're gonna have there.
Which is your favorite season and why? This is from Christiana.
Oh,
Oh, it's the summers.
summer, huh? You're a summer
Yeah,
girl.
absolutely. And this was our first summer trip of the year. We were in Japan earlier, and then Azerbaijan, Bhutan. Every place we visited this year was a winter location,
Okay.
and I was dying inside for summer. And I told my husband that I need a summer trip. Let's go to Europe because I don't want to be anywhere else but in Europe for summers.
Is that why you're going to South Africa next? You're following summer.
Yeah. Yes. So, I mean, every summer that I've spent in the last 3 or 4 years have been in Europe, and we keep coming back for that. We love the beaches, we love the people, we love the culture. So we keep coming back, exploring new countries every summer. So,
Oh, that's lovely. Well, we're waiting for you to come back. Thank you
Absolutely.
so much for choosing St. Raphael Resort and
Thank you.
being part of our following as well. And I wish you every success, really. You're a beautiful person inside and
Thank you.
out. And I hope that you get everything your heart desires.
Thank you so much for having me, and it's been such a pleasure meeting you, Farah. It's been
Likewise.
wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button because it helps us more than you may realise. If you are planning on coming to visit us at St. Raphael Resort and Marina, feel free to email our reservations team quoting Hotel Talk and receive an exclusive offer just for you. We look forward to seeing you soon, hearing your feedback about our show, and producing many, many more interesting episodes just for you, our listener, and our valued guest in mind. Thank you so much, and take care.